G'day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Craig Cobb. I've been trading for over 20 years. If you like my content, hit subscribe to get the full series from this little course brought to you by BloFin. And this chapter, we're going to go into support and resistance. Yes, I know, I'm sure you've heard it before, unless you're a complete beginner. It's just how you're using it might not be correct. And I remind you, I've been trading for over 20 years, full-time for 15. This is the way that I use support and resistance to actually make decisions. You see, that's the thing with markets. You need to be either buying or selling. There's a passive, which is doing nothing. But to come to a decision of buy, sell, or do nothing, you must first understand what the market is telling you. And support and resistance is a very, very important element to having a holistic understanding of the language of the markets. And I say the language of the markets because it is a language. And if you can understand what you're being shown, you can make far better decisions in your trading and investing outcomes. So let's get stuck straight into this support and resistance. It's really, really important that we know a couple of things. The first thing is this. For me, resistance is two tests at a specific point. Okay, if it's resistance, think of it like the ceiling above your head. It is above you. It is therefore resistance. And for there to be considered resistance, there needs to be at least two touches. Now, in this particular example, we see test one here, test two here. Two tests mean there is resistance there. The more resistance that we get, the stronger the level typically. Okay, so two tests at an absolute minimum. Above is resistance. We run up, resisted. We run up, resisted. Well, what we're doing is we're trying to build a bit of an understanding of what this level means and why we might look to trade either the breakout of that level or often pulling back into the support after it has broken. And I'll show that to you in just a minute. On the support side, so support is the floor for which we walk on. It supports our weight. We have a gain down here, we move down, we move away, we move down, we move away, we move down. We've got test one, we have test two, we have test, whoops, that's a terrible looking three there, sir. Test three. So support is the level underneath. Do not overcomplicate this, please, ladies and gentlemen. Support is two tests underneath the price, where price is hitting it and being supported. Resistance is two tests above, and therefore resistance is above, support is below. Keep it simple. The levels of support and resistance are 180 degrees only. Why? Well, here is a circle. In a circle, we have 360 degrees. Now, I'm going to teach you how to be objective in your understanding of markets and objective in your decision-making processes. This is the only way I've been able to make money consistently, whether I go long or whether I go short in any market. Okay, I've been trading crypto for 8 years. I've been trading other markets, 12 years before I started crypto. There's my 20. So for me, I used to look at sloping trend lines. Now there's 360 degrees in a circle. The only degree that matters for us when it comes to trading is 180. That is what horizontal is. All of the others, they're all far too subjective. You can tweak all of the others. You cannot tweak a horizontal level, and that is why I use it for simple clarity of mind and decision-making processes. It's really straightforward in that regard. Now, I'm going to show you an example here, a couple of opportunities where you can see there's test one here, there's test two here. Now, the price is being resisted by a level above. Therefore, this is resistance. In this example over here, we see price come down, test, retest, and retest in 1, 2, and 3. Because the price is below, this is support. Don't overcomplicate this simple process. And I'll show you how to use your crosshair in just a moment on a live chart to actually find support and resistance levels in a real market scenario, because that is very important. You know, theory is great, but it's about practice that makes us actually understand and work with this. Again, another example through here. We got a test of 1, 2, and that is resistance because it is above. We have support, 1, 2. That is support because it is below the price. Support and resistance in theory is very, very simple, and I'll show it to you in practice as well. Now, here's the thing with all the methodology I'm teaching you in this YouTube series. The way that I trade and the way that I'm teaching you, it's a confluence. You know, you're not just, you're not baking a cake with a cup of sugar. It's impossible. You're not going to have successful trading by just reading candlesticks. You're going to have a few different ingredients to come together in a certain formation for you to be presented with an opportunity. Now, I'm teaching you some of the ingredients from my personal trading strategies, and I do use checklists. Okay, it's how I trade. The reason I've shown you support and resistance is not because I'm trying to teach you a breakout strategy. What I'm trying to teach you is a trend following strategy. I do have a breakout strategy as well, but the culmination of these confluence coming together is to give us a higher probability of a successful outcome. And you'll see things like trends, candlesticks, the size of the candles, the moving averages, indicators to ignore and to use, and support and resistance. Now, in this case, the reason that I'm showing it to you is that retesting support in this case can act as resistance. Now, what you'll see here is test 1, and you'll see test 2. Now, there's 2 tests there, which of course we now know it means it's support. In fact, there's actually a third one up here. It's very close to the line. I call that within a bee's dick. Excuse the crass language, but for me, it's about trying to retain some of these things. And when you're learning, remembering things that are a little bit different, the bee's dick works for me. So why do I call, within a bee's dick? Well, the bee's dick's pretty small. So if it's within a bee's dick, I'm okay with it. I don't want it to be smashing right through. As you can see, it's just through here within a bee's dick, and it's just here within a bee's dick. So I've got 3 tests underneath. The level is underneath the price. It keeps bouncing off of that. That is now support. But here's the crucial part. And this will start to make sense as you go through further chapters in this particular program. What we've got is we've got a price that's broken down through support. We've come back up and we've retested that level, as you can see right here. Now, let me just tidy this up a little bit for you. It's broken down through support. And yeah, sure, maybe you traded a breakout. Cool. My purpose here is not just that. When we pull back into this level, what you'll note is that there is actually moving averages in the correct order, which you'll learn. There's a small bearish candle in the right spot in a downtrend. Now, this represents a potential trading opportunity. But more importantly, for this particular lesson that I'm teaching you right now, the takeaway, the key takeaway for this section right here is that old support, when retested, can become new resistance. And you can see in this particular example that I've got, it doesn't just become resistance once, but it becomes resistance twice. Price retested that level on 2 separate occasions and rejected this time and this time. So therefore, old support can become new resistance. Okay, we don't need to overcomplicate these things. And I think that one of the things that people struggle with when it comes to trading is that they always want to know too many of the answers as to why. We're so programmed that complicated things means that it's worth more or it's better for us. The harder something is, the better we are if we can solve it. No, and this is one of the challenges with trading. It's making sure that you understand you don't need to have overcomplicated things. In fact, the hardest thing for you to manage is you. Once you've got these rules and once you've got something that works, the biggest variable to consider that will shift and change is you. It's your mindset, it's your mood, and it's how you operate within a system of rules. That's why I use checklists, because it helps me to make things a lot more straightforward, and it means that I can stick to my rules with a lot more precision. Now, the flip side of this, obviously old support becoming retested can become resistance. Well, in this case, we've got test 1, test 2, and a break. Once it breaks up through here, it has a very, very good move. Then it pulls back, and where does it pull back to? It pulls back to that old level of resistance. It then becomes support, and that then accelerates our move back up. So old resistance can become new support, okay, when it is retested. Really important to understand that. Don't overcomplicate it. Honest to God, you really just don't need to overcomplicate something that is a simple process. Now, the final thing that I wanted to touch on here is really, before I go to the real market and show you an example, sloping trend lines, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I bag these really heavily, and I bag these because they're so subjective. As you can see in this particular example, there's lines everywhere. Well, which one do we trust? That's the problem with sloping trend lines. And I will admit, I had a fantastic mentor that got me on the straight and narrow, got me these checklists, helped me with working out how I operated. And I was disciplined if I knew how to be disciplined. And a checklist to tick the boxes was what gave me discipline. The final thing, my last hurdle, my last thing of the old, what I thought I knew trader who didn't make money consistently, I broke even, right? I lost money at the start. Then as I got more and more better at managing my risk and understanding things, I was at about the break even. You make a bit, then you give it back, and that's the breakthrough point. When you get to that level, you can at least manage your risk. Then it's the next step to take. My mentor said to me, Craig, if I see another sloping trend line on your charts, I'm not mentoring you anymore, because I've told you so many times they're pointless, they're subjective, and we're trying to get you to be an objective trader. There's no room for subjectivity in the way that we trade. So if I see another sloping trend line, I will not mentor you anymore. like that, I got rid of them. But I hung on to them for so long because I thought I knew how to use them. And what I was actually doing is I was bullshitting to myself. What I was actually doing was if I was trading, say, a trend like this, and the line was like that, and the price was, say, here, well, I'd probably just tweak it a little bit to make it work. I'd move the line. Remember, 360 degrees, I only use one, horizontal 180. Those other 360 degrees allow for a huge amount of subjectivity. So once I got rid of that, because I was genuinely tweaking these lines to get the outcome that I desired. The second that you stop forcing your dance partner and you start working with your dance partner, the whole dance becomes a lot easier. And that's my, talking to markets. Stop trying to force what you want. Start listening to what the market's doing, paying attention to the market. If you're going to be trading or investing, the market is your partner. Best you invest a bit of time to get away from the ego of, I want this. No one gives a two hoots about what you want. Okay, the market doesn't care about you. You, ladies and gentlemen, you need to care about the market. And the first part of that is the communication. She's talking to you every day. He's talking to you every day. Don't ignore what's being said. Don't try and twist things to get what you want. Focus on the market as opposed to focusing on your personal objective that I want to trade today. This is why I use checklists. It's a process of elimination. I'm eliminating things from the market, eliminating pairs to trade. Now, I scan the market every day, over 500 pairs. I want to have a pretty good list of funneling that down, and I do, to feed me what I need. Now, I'm going to come and show you now the real live market, and this is here an example that I just found a moment ago to exercise, to show you how it looks. First of all, you've got a crosshair. Okay, so how do you find support? Well, let me just get rid of this for a moment. Well, the easiest way to do it, and the way that I learned, is to just drag your mouse down. Okay, if you see a few areas, okay, look, there's a bit of something there. Oh, there's a bit of a level. All right, well, let's go ahead and draw a horizontal line and let's see. Boom. And what we can see is there's test 1, there's test 2, a little bit of a break, 3, 4. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to trade that breakout, not at all. But what I am showing you is that when it does break, it retested and it fell again. This is old support acting as resistance when it's retested. A perfect example of what I've just described to you and shown to you through the use of the slides. I come across to near as well, and you'll find this everywhere. You'll find this often. Another one here on near. Support 1, test 2, 1, 2, test. Third over here, bit of a breakthrough there, but 1, 2. We break down through, we come and reject it again, and we fall from that moment in time. Now, we've got the moving averages, we've got the MACD, we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we're starting to lay over itself to try and work out, okay, when a certain amount of things occur at a certain price point with these factors in our favor, maybe there's a trading opportunity there. And that's what this course is about. That's what this series is about. It's about nurturing your understanding of what is and what's important so that you can start to craft your own strategy. Now, of course, you come and join me. You'll get 2 trading strategies with complete checklists and the Discord group to trade in. But if you want to do it yourself, that's fine. These are things to help you by me showing you how I trade and some of the ingredients that I use in my trading. I hope it empowers you. I hope it makes you see things. If you don't have a breakthrough right away, that's okay. But I hope it opens you up to understanding that less is more, but a really good understanding of what is. Reading price action, hearing what the market is telling you is super, super important. So that's support and resistance, how I use it, what it is to me. And don't forget this is sponsored by BloFin. Use the link below in the description to open up your BloFin account. You will also find how to raise a long order and a short order on the BloFin platform within this series. Please give me a subscribe if you're liking this type of content and anything to do with trading, because that's what I do. Have a wonderful day. That's support and resistance. On to the next one.